Welcome, the War Chief of Light is back with an epic video. Hi, my name is Peebee, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peebs. Listen, Final Fantasy XIV is an emotional game, okay? And this video, we're actually going to discuss my top 5 cries in this game. And yes, we will be sending a statement for emotional damage to Square Enix because this video is full of spoilers for a bunch of different expansions, won a couple of times. And just a disclaimer, like, this is my top 5 cries. This is where I got ugly, okay? That can change person to person very much, and this game has tons of those moments. So, I mean, for Heidel's sake, I had a cry counter for Endwalker. Yeah, that was a thing. So if your number 1 isn't here, I promise you I probably cried. Number 5, Yotsuyu Gosetsu. This story has all the makings to be a tragic disaster. I mean, you've got Yotsuyu who has been fucking through it. From the shittiest of shitty childhoods to having to work the way she did to climb the ranks, gain trust. Like, she's been through it. And it is not great to watch. It is hard. So, when we finally get that moment where she's being beaten by her fucking brother, it's when things got a little serious. Now, I started crying when Asahi finally got what was fucking coming to him. Before that, was I crying? No, I was pure bottle of rage. And you can see my face just turn.
Harlot betrayed his trust.
Fucking
useless.
The second he starts kicking her, what the fuck? But anyway, he's kicking her. I was out of it. No. So when the swords come down and you realize he got it, what's coming to him, I started crying. That's what the declencher. And I honestly thought I handled that section pretty good. She's telling me about her sorrow, that she's happy to finally move on. And I did good. So why is it in this list? Gosetsu. Motherfucker. The second he showed up on the screen, I preemptively cried harder, knowing it was about to go fucking south. Oh, Gosetsu. No! Oh! And it certainly did. He lost everything that was important to him in that moment. Any family type feelings he had made, he lost it in Yotsuyu. And his guttural wail, that did it. I went from got this to ugly crying and quickly. Yep, that's oh Pocky, is it ever? Number 4, Seto. Yes, it's number 4. Stick with me. It makes sense, I promise. Now, 5.3 was bad. Like, it was a constant flow of fucking tears, okay? From, like, halfway through it to the constant flow of tears. And I knew it was going to be bad. People warned me 5.3 was bad. Whew. So, we lose the Crystal Exarch. My face is still clammy and wet from the tears. And we go through what I like to call a curtain call. We are just visiting people that we met along the way. We meet the Chais. I cry again.
Oh, it's you.
She's gonna get me going here.
As you can see, Alphino.
Because I love Dulia with all of my heart. And I start crying when I know Seto is next. I even called it no, not fucking Seto. Because you knew it was gonna be bad. Oh no. I would have thee deliver it onto Seto. I can think of no worthier recipient. You fucker, you're gonna admit I'm already halfway crying. Son of fuck you, Hideyoshi. Fuck you. Fuck you. Seto's story is the exact story I want every single pet I have to feel. Seto's story is about the true unconditional love we give our pets and its reciprocity, because that's something we all hope that these little creatures that bring such joy to our lives, that we bring a fraction of that to them. And Seto is exactly that. He finally can say how much he loved Ardbert. I would have been fine with that little shade scene being like, I love you too, that's great. And I probably still would have fucking cried. But no, it got worse. Instead, we've got a eyes closed shade. His hands touch the beast, and Seto feels the love. Feels this person that he loves so much. Fuck off, man, I was gone.
I'm sorry I couldn't keep you safe. Oh.
This story got me so hard that I was even fucking crying while writing this section of the video. Number 3, Werlyt 2.0. Werlyt is my kryptonite. 100%. Stripped down. It is a story about war propaganda, and ultimately the ultimate failure of a parent. Werlyt 2.0 caught me so off guard. I think that's what made me cry so goddamn hard, is I didn't expect any of it. Werlyt ends tragically and bittersweet, and it's fine. To return to it for Tataru's grand endeavor, what the fuck? Now, the quest line was fine. I did very well to the very last quest. Now, I started crying halfway through because I thought that they would end up going and saying, oh, my brothers are dead, but it's okay. You are my brothers. You are my sons. Like, a chosen family type story. And that's where I thought it was going. So I was already crying over that. I thought for sure they would say, we're her new family. Whew. I'm quivering thinking about it. I was crying over the ending that didn't happen. And then the shades of the brothers show up. And I don't know if it was just a rush of emotion, a rush moment of, it's okay. We love you, Dad. We understand. It's okay. It'll be okay. That's sad. It sent me so far off. I'm telling you, parents out there, Werlyt is the one quest chain I would not be offended if you just hit skip cutscene, because she's not easy. Which brings me to number 2, Werlyt. Original questline. I can't tell you what everyone's greatest fears are, but I can tell you one that most parents share. And that is to fail your kid, or it's to not be able to protect your kid. Werlyt, again, I said this before, but is the ultimate story of the ultimate failure of a parent. Okay? Listen, we can all get behind somebody who fucked up, who wants to do better, grows, becomes better. Great. Gaius' story is very human, honestly. Werlyt is where he actually fucked up. It's one thing to fucked up in ARR, and honestly, I wouldn't even argue that's really fucking up. That's just following the lead. Remember, these countries are at war. They've been served a lifetime of propaganda. You chose a side. What's the biggest consequence of war? Loss. Generations of loss. Trauma. You could not predict that those kids would be stuck with a egotistical, sadistic fucknut. I know, and we could argue that. We could also argue that he knew those kids would get a large dose of racism without his protection, but let's put that in the back burner just for a second. He left those kids behind during war. He defaulted while his kids were still now behind enemy lines, still receiving the propaganda. Now think about that. These kids watched their general father. What did you expect they were going to do? No matter what you think of Gaius, he chose wrong. He chose dead wrong. Whether it was he left them behind without safety, whether it is he didn't get them out after he defaulted, whether it is just putting through war generally speaking as a parent, he fucked up. And he learns about what happened to them in detail. And yeah, there's a scene right after that that's torture and hard to watch, but that didn't hit nearly as hard as watching his daughter cry, "Why weren't you there?" Whew! He may have called you an enemy before, but he never meant it. He loves you. I have failed him. Whew! But I refuse to abandon him in his fate. I free him from violence, which is the last thing I do. Homeland, on a grander scale, it is a parent's nightmare that you can't protect them from shit like that. I have to admit, when I first went through Werlyt, I was very happy that I was at the natural ending point of my stream. I have a hard cutoff for my streams, and I was happy to hit it. I don't think I could have continued streaming that night. That was a tough blow. Again, I'm a parent. This shit hurts. And honestly, the next few days, my kids got extra hugs and reminded, hey, 1, you can come to me, and 2, my job is to protect you. Number 1. Number 1 isn't Haurchefant. It's not. Listen, I cried. I still cry. There are moments I see that fucking shield and I'm gone. He caught me off guard. But I'm gonna remind you again, I'm a parent. So, number 1 will make a little bit more sense to you as we go through it. Number 1, Edmond de Fortin talking about Haurchefant's death. A smile better suits a hero is an iconic line in video game history. And in that moment, you're caught off guard. First of all, you realize your friends are not off the chopping block. Your friends can die in this game. That was really barrier breaking, that they don't have plot armor. They can die. That changed the urgency and the importance of your mission to me, and not genius writing because of it. But a smile better suits a hero. Ooh, so I cried. Caught me off guard. I cried hard. And while the tears were still flowing, the next quest starts. Oh no, I gotta tell his dad.
Don't.
You tell Edmond what happened. And I mean, I cried, hoping we wouldn't do that, but no, we did. And there's this, I think it's 1 line, maybe I can't even repeat them verbatim because I don't remember them. But his voice shakes as he's talking to himself, reminding himself that his son just died.
Bye.
Let the man mourn. Oh, stop. Oh. Now, it's perfect for many reasons. Number 1 is grieving isn't usually very well done by media. It isn't, right? If you watch any show, you tell someone, "Ma'am, your son has just died." No! That's not how reality works. It's not. And there's nothing wrong with how media does it. Listen, in a 30-minute show, an hour and a half show, you don't have time to dick around and sit with those emotions real hard. The sad music, the crying gets you there. You gotta move that story along. I get it. It's fine. But that's not how people work. There's a reason why doctors will look at you dead in the eye and use the words, is dead. It's so that you, first of all, remember and really they're gone. It takes a second. You need to process that information. 1 + 1 ain't 2 yet. It's getting there. And this moment of silence, the moment of him planning stuff out and then dealing with it, like, it all fits so perfectly. It's also why, if you guys remember the movie My Girl, that's why that hit so hard, by the way. Because when it does hit, holy fuck, does it ever hit. But, yeah, that's why. And if you haven't seen that movie, don't listen. Final Fantasy XIV is already emotional enough. Don't do that to yourself. This quest fucking nails it. From the voice shaking of an incredible voice acting moment, which I still say is the best voice acting moment in video games. You could argue with me on that one. To just that moment of silence, the moment of realization, reminding himself, and really just grasping grief. Whew. It's still hard. And I still can't watch that scene. Actually, none of these scenes I can watch. Who the fuck am I kidding? There's a few that I can watch now. Not these guys. None of these 5. Which is incredible. So yes, Final Fantasy XIV is an emotional game. She hurts. And I want to know how she hurt you. Let me know what scenes really kicked you in the gut. And if you like this video, and if you like getting nerdy with me, talking about the lore, Final Fantasy, gaming in general, listen, you know what to do. Subscribe, ring the bell, watch a few streams. You do that here and on Twitch. Listen, I'm a little bit everywhere. In the meantime, though, have yourselves a legendary night. Thanks so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye. Wait until you realize that Haurchefant's death scene, A Smile Better Suits a Hero, is actually fucking worse in French. Can it be worse? Yes.
Maybe I'm a little